Hey, I'm Ben from Aussie Slang and I'm an Aussie. Today, I'm going to teach you how to start a conversation with an Australian. These tips will also be helpful if you are talking to people from the USA, the UK, Canada, South Africa, New Zealand, all of these wonderful English-speaking countries. So, are you ready? Let's do it. We're actually going to start with how not to start a conversation. These questions can be considered rude or a little bit inappropriate for the start of a conversation. Now, I know some of these questions are fine in other countries and in other cultures, but I would avoid them if you're meeting someone in Australia for the first time. So, avoid asking, how old are you? Where do you live? How much money do you earn? Which political party do you support? Oh, are you religious? Are you married? By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe down the bottom. It helps to keep all this content free, and we love free content. So to summarize, it's better to be safe, so don't use them if you don't know somebody. All right, moving on. Now we're going to talk about icebreakers. Now, what is an icebreaker? Well, an icebreaker is something that can break the ice, which means break the coldness of a conversation where you don't really know someone very well, right? Like the start of a conversation when you don't know someone is pretty awkward. An icebreaker should be about getting things warmed up and hopefully leading to a conversation where you can get to know each other a little bit better. Here is a list of common icebreakers in Australia. How's it going? How are ya? How are we? Having a good day? What's going on? What's good? What's cracking? Now we've got quite a few different ways to say basically the same thing, which is hello, right? Now it's good to know a range of different icebreakers because a lot of people use these in everyday language, but you don't have to say them all, right? It's completely fine to just say, how's it going? Or how are ya? These are super common and this is what most people use. All right, moving on. So you've used your icebreaker and your conversation probably sounds a little bit like this. Hey, how are ya? Good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Now, many conversations in Australia will actually just end there, especially if it's at work or if it's in a place where it's not appropriate to have a conversation, maybe like at the supermarket, maybe at the doctor's office, something like that. Now, not all of the conversations can just end there, right? Otherwise, you're not going to make any friends. So we need to keep going. So what's next? Well, I call this a follow-up question, something that comes after our icebreaker. Here's a list of common follow-up questions. Now, I want you to think about what is the common thing in all of these questions? What is the theme? How's your day been? Or how has your day been? Did you have a good week? Have you had a good week? How was your weekend? How are your days off? How's your weekend going so far? Long time no see. How have you been? Did you figure out what the theme of these questions is? That's right. It's all about past experiences. Now, there's many other topics that you could ask about, right? You could ask about hobbies, you could ask about the weather. Some people like to talk about weather. You could ask something more specific, but past experiences is a really nice way to get a conversation going, and it's very common to do this. So I'd recommend, if you're not too confident with small talk, just start with a past experience question, like one of these. All right, it's time to practice. So I'll say red, you say green. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, not bad. Having a good day? Yeah, it's going pretty well, thanks. Let's try it again. Now, pro tip, if you're having trouble saying these phrases in a nice, smooth, fluent way, just slow it right down until you can say it perfectly 10 times, and then speed it up. These are phrases that you want to be able to say pretty quickly, comfortably, naturally, without thinking too much. So I'd recommend practicing them a bit to get comfortable with them. All right, this time we're going to swap the sentences around, okay? I'm still red, you're still green. Let's do it. Pretty good, thanks. How about you? Yeah, it's going all right. And you? Do you know what's funny? We had a whole conversation, but we didn't say anything. And the conversation could just end right there, and it often does. But if you want to make a new friend, we're going to have to say a little bit more, and we're going to have to keep it going. So if you find your conversations end at that point often, I've got another video for you. Next video is going to be really important, which is how to continue a conversation. So I've got a range of different tips and tricks. If you're the kind of person who forgets what you're talking about, you go blank, or you often encounter awkward silences, then this is a great video for you. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.